Let's start. Today's topic is voice VLAN. Yesterday we discussed on the VLAN, and for the already explained the lots of thing about the VLAN, like and what and voice VLAN is a part of the VLAN, right? So what is a voice VLAN? A voice VLAN is a special VLAN on a switchboard used only for VoIP traffic coming from an IP phone, right? Means this VLAN only, can carry only the voice traffic, can't carry the data traffic. That's why we use voice VLAN for the VoIP traffic, right? And why we use the voice VLAN? The reason is that very low latency, better voice quality, and high priority. And how we get this low latency, better quality, and high priority? Because of the when the voice traffic is sent, that time the switch is send this traffic on the priority instead of the data traffic, because voice need the better connectivity. That's why. And suppose we can get the latency on the data, then no one will notice that thing. But we get the latency on the voice. That time it can be the voice will be uh, uh, break because of the voice packet is dropped. That's why.
Yes, right. So
And
we cannot
data and
compromise. Yeah, we cannot compromise with the quality of audio in this case.
yeah, yeah,
That is one of the reason we prioritize our voice traffic, right?
voice traffic. Yeah. Second thing is that how voice VLAN is work. Like suppose we have a switch, like and from switch we connect the IP phone and IP phone through the uh, system. Then what actually happened? Whenever the uh, IP phone is send their packet to the switch, that time they already tag the VLAN ID, and when the PC send there the packet to the switch, that time it will be untagged. It will not add VLAN ID with the packet.
Yeah, that is one of the feature of the our IP phone. So
Yeah, yeah.
whenever it will send the traffic from phone to the switch, it will tag its VLAN.
Mm.
Like for the voice
Aman,
VLAN,
can you
it will.
please show the image again? The slide that you have seen that you are.
Slide. It was the lab. This one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. I have one questions.
Okay.
Uh, the VoIP phone that you have connected the lab,
Mm-hmm.
that will be connected through one single wire or different one.
Different wire is there. Like you can see here, from switch to IP phone, it is a different cable, and from the IP phone to the PC, it also different cable. Both
Okay,
are the
let
Then
me
difference, not the
let
PC
single
me
will be
cable.
clarify
connected from the.
one thing here. Let me
Yeah.
clarify for all of you. Normally, our IP phone contain two ports. Okay,
Okay.
one port is for the cable which is coming from the switch, and one port is for the cable which will connect to your PC. So that's why it
Okay.
has two ports normally.
Yeah, we can see
Okay.
here.
Now it's clear. Okay. Now continue.
Here it also mentions the console port as well. That is for the completely different process. But normally each and every IP phone contain at least two ports, which is for one for the switch and one for our system.
Right. And because of the tagging, the switch can understand which traffic is voice VLAN and which one is the data VLAN. Right.
The
Yes,
same
yes.
way switch perform the tagging of VLAN, here IP phone also perform the tagging, right?
Yeah, and it is easy to differentiate the traffic to the switch, which one is data and which one is voice. And but for the communication, we all know the uh, whatever the device we are using in the networking, that all need to get some parameters like a network parameters, IP address, default gateway, subnet, and other things. But how the uh, from where the phone get these parameters? There is a two type. We can assign that. Like first is the manually, means any administrator or any uh, 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 PBS team person can configure the phone manually, and he can assign the all the parameters like IP gateway, subnet, DNS, and a uh, uh, VLAN ID also. Like and second thing, the something is I can get from the protocols like LLDP and CDP, and means LLDP and CDP is a discovery protocol. From this protocol, the phone can know which VLAN is a voice VLAN, right? But when but how can get this VLAN ID to the phone? Because suppose this is the switch and this is our IP phone. When the IP phone is boot, that time the switch send the CDP or LLDP package to the IP phone, and there is the information. This is the VLAN
Okay,
ID.
let,
And
let me correct you here. So whenever our phone get connected to the network, it normally need a IP address, right? That we are discussing here. So we can
no.
assign
This
the,
is another part. This is another part. Here we are discuss only about the VLAN ID. How the phone know about the VLAN ID? Which VLAN I need to send the traffic? Which VLAN tag I need to add in the packet? Which VLAN ID?
okay, it's a phone capability, completely the phone capability. It this is capable of adding the or tagging the its VLAN in the traffic, right?
Okay. But how the means how the iPhone knows which one is the voice VLAN right now? If we are the configure manually, that time only the know. But suppose we are not configure it manually, then how the CDP and LLDP assign this VLAN ID to the IP phone?
Okay, now I get your point.
Yeah,
How the switch is able to differentiate whether the traffic is coming from the sorry, the phone or the computer, right? So normally
yeah.
every
This is
phone, yeah,
this
normally every,
no, actually this point we are already discussed. Like they adding the what the tag right now.
hmm
Da- For the data traffic, there is no VLAN ID tag. For the voice traffic, they only add the VLAN ID tag, right? But who
yes,
add
right.
this IP phone, right? But how the IP phone know which VLAN ID they are using for the forwarding the data packet, voice data?
Okay,
Yeah. Then what happened now? Whenever the IP phone is boot, then if CDP and LLDP is enabled in the switch, that time they send the CDP or LLDP uh, message to the IP phone, and there is a content that this is the voice VLAN. Right now, this is a VLAN 20, VLAN 10, whatever the VLAN ID, and and that time the IP phone knows that this is the VLAN ID, and I need to share my packet to this VLAN, and I need to tag this VLAN ID in the packet, and and after that, when the IP phone send this data to the switch, that time the switch can identify that this is a voice VLAN traffic.
okay. So in the initial phase, switch first share the information in the CDP or the LLDP packets, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah,
one is the for the voice or which one is for the data?
yeah.
So once phone receives all this detail, it will differentiate or perform the tagging of the VLAN in traffic.
Yes, right.
Okay.
I have one
Yes,
question. So, CDP, LLDP is a protocol, right? So, in
yes,
bank
yes.
for security purpose, so CDP and LLDP will be disabled. So, how to know means where is the information sharing?
We can configure it manually.
Which is okay. So, we have configured the manually. There is no need to CDP and LLDP, right?
Yeah, yeah. If we configure it manually already, then we don't need to use the CDP and LLDP.
Okay.
Manually, in the sense, we have to manually inform the phone that
No, no,
this
no.
VLAN is
Manually,
for the
yeah,
voice and
yeah,
this VLAN is for the
yeah.
data,
Yeah, whenever the
right?
administration is configured, the network team already shared all the information about the phone, like IP address, gateway, subnet mask, DNS, and VLAN ID.
Okay.
So we see that all. And some another protocol which is help to the communication, like yeah. uh, SIP, session initiation protocol. Set up and manage the VoIP call. Means when we start the call, that time is I inform to the another phone, and is manage the session between them. Second is a real-time transfer protocol, and is carry the original traffic. Whatever we speaking here, it's carry the original voice in the packet, and the both are work on the uh, uh, seventh layer of the OSI model. And now is the point you were saying that how the IP phone get the IP address and all other parameters, right?
Okay, so SIP is the one who is responsible for initiating the communication between two IP phones, right?
Yes, yes,
And the RTP or the real-time transport protocol is the one
yeah,
who is actually carrying the voice traffic during the communication.
yeah.
Okay.
And now is the network IP services. Uh, Now here we use the DSCP. Suppose we have and here also I configure the DSCP. Like the phone is get the IP from the DSCP here. We can see the here configuration. Like we have configured two IP pools. One is for the VLAN 20, which is the voice VLAN, and second is for the VLAN 10, which is for the data VLAN. This configuration on the router, and this is on the switch. The thing is that we already know the DSCP how is the DSCP's work. Whenever the IP phone is connected to a switch, that time switch the that time sorry that time I won't send the discover message to find the DSCP server. If DSCP server get this message, uh, after that DSCP will reply with the uh, uh, offer messages. There is a content of these network parameters like IP address, uh, gateway, subnet mask, and other like DNS server. And after that, the IP phone again send the message to the DSCP request. What are the parameters you have mentioned in the offer message, please list me that parameters for that. And after that, DHCP server send this message to the IP phone. Uh, means this is the acknowledge message.
Yeah, basically it will perform the DORA process, right?
Yeah, DORA
Raw
process.
process, yeah.
Yes,
Usually it
for
will
obtaining
perform
the
the raw
IP
process.
address.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here is a few point. Uh, Here we can differentiate the voice VLAN and data VLAN. What is the difference between both? Like voice VLAN we use for the voice traffic, data VLAN we use for the data traffic, like computer, laptop, machines, printers, for that. And voice VLAN we only use for the voice traffic. And whenever it communicate, and that time switch give the priority to the voice VLAN. Okay.
So why we will use IP phone for users?
For that, na, because high priority. And
Means data is not sharing to anyone. Means communication is one client to another client. We have to communicate with securely, right?
no, this is a secure. But why we use IP phone? Because whenever we talk on the IP phone, that time switch uh, actively forward the voice traffic,
Yes, yes.
yeah, instead of the data traffic.
Okay,
Give the priority to the voice traffic, and more bandwidth use the voice VLAN that time.
So customer is secure the communication, secure the data. Is everything used will like data will be used by via switch, and voice means communication will be used for IP phone, right?
Both traffic is going from the switch only. Like uh, here we see from switch we connect the IP phone, and IP phone through we connect the uh, uh, PC. But suppose if we use the both things simultaneously, all right, you are using the PC, and now you are using the IP phone also simultaneously. But what switch will be do? Your IP phone traffic give the priority to the your IP phone traffic, right? And that time you can feel like your network will be slow, because more bandwidth voice traffic is used, utilize that time.
Okay, first of all, I want to understand like you have configured the DHCP in the router itself
Yes.
for these two VLAN,
Yeah.
right? For
Yes.
VLAN 10 is for the
Data.
mm,
And
yeah,
VLAN 20 is for
VLAN
the.
10 is for the data and VLAN 20 is for the voice.
Yes.
The left side configuration is for the router.
Yes.
Okay, and the right side configuration.
For the switch.
Okay, just to for the clear or understanding, we normally configure both the data traffic and the voice traffic on the same interface.
Same.
We just need to add one more command, which is switch port voice VLAN, right?
Yes.
Just run the
Just
command
minute.
so running config interface.
This command is not taken here, not work here.
Okay, just run so run. Exclude the interface. Remove, just run. Hmm.
We can see here for the FA01, FA0/1 and FA0/2.
Yeah, the extra command that you have added is just switch port voice VLAN 20. That's it for the, and we just need to add this VLAN 20 in the trunk port as well.
Yes, we have allowed this VLAN for the security only. If we configure the trunk, that time it also work, but for the security.
Ultimately, we have to pass our traffic over the switch, right? So we have to
Right.
tag this VLAN 20 as well.
Yes.
No.
I have a question now.
Yes.
Now we can say here, see here the switch port a trunk allowed VLAN 1020.
Hmm.
Means that time only they allow the traffic of VLAN 10 and 20, right?
Right.
Yeah. Rather than it will not forward any traffic.
No, no. As we have clearly instructed here, like this switch port or the trunk port will only pass the traffic of VLAN 10 and 20. But if you connect any other VLAN and try to communicate to other switches, which is part of the different VLAN, it will not pass the traffic over the trunk port. Why? Because we have not allowed that traffic. VLAN here in trunk port. But if you simply just say VLAN trap switch port allowed VLAN all, then it will pass all the VLAN traffic.
Okay, and if we not give this command, that time it also work. If we give only switch port mode trunk.
Yes.
Okay.
See, if you give the command like switch port allowed VLAN all, if you just go to the interface, we'll see the
Which
practically, yeah, the trunk port interface.
trunk port?
So
Show interface term.
no, let's go to the configure terminal first.
Mm.
Go to the interface. But this one is your trunk port, right?
No, this one is not my trunk port.
Okay, anyway, just hit a command, you will see
Just a
switch
minute.
port.
Which one is this?
0 by 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Switch port mode is already trunk, right? Switch
Yes.
port trunk
Allowed. Switch port trunk allowed.
trunk
All.
allowed. Hit the question mark. No, just hit the question mark. Okay, VLAN.
When interface is in trunk.
Write VLAN. You have only option to write VLAN. Space question mark. See, here we have a different option. Like we can allow particular VLAN, or we can add a VLAN, we can remove a VLAN, or we can simply say all. When you say all, that means it will pass all the VLAN traffic through trunk port.
Okay.
But if you want to allow in some particular VLAN only, like here in this case, only 1020 is allowed. So in that case, you have to just add a command like VLAN add 10 or 20 or 30, 40, whatever you want. Okay.
Mm.
I think that's it for the session.